Well, day two of the Nile Conference is upon us here at the Hassan Mustafa Sports Arena in Cairo. We're in the shadows of the Great Pyramids where dynasties have been built and legacies have been adorned. Today, Bangui Sporting Club of the Central African Republic clash with the City Oilers of Uganda.
Both Raleigh Fuller. When we have a look at the starting lineup, Evans Ganapamo off a 1 of 15 performance from the field. He had a disappointing outing in his opening encounter here in the Nile Conference. Nwabuzor, Raleigh Fuller, we spoke about what he does. Captain Jim Raebe is going to be very important. And Thierry Darlan had somewhat underwhelming performance in his opening game coming off of the G League Ignite. Expect him to bounce back today.
Let's take a look now at the City Oilers of Uganda.
Ball distribution, trying to get it into Malawash in the paint, but he gives an outing, and you've got to be aware of him on the scouting report. That backcourt combination with Randy Culpepper Sr., something that we've got to keep an eye on. Dane Miller Jr. trying to do what he does, and he'll fill the role wherever he can, whether rebounding, assisting, or passing. And they've gone big today. 2 changes in the starting lineup. Titus Sodeke and Kaman Malawash getting the start for Coach Karim Nesba. And I think this is going to be interesting because they're going big, and they're relying on their veteran guards in the backcourt. Kaman Malawash's third year in the BAL now in different teams. He's got a vast experience of his own, but just 17 years young.
Well, it is the City Oilers who wear it in black here, and a good opportunity for them to try and get some early points on the scoreboard. Doesn't happen there from Dane Miller Jr. And Nwabuzor just getting the ball back in his hands. Randy Culpepper. It'll be an interesting battle between those two players today as Darlan tries to get past Malawash. This is a lovely little battle taking place. And does he get the score? Yes, he does. Darlan with a fantastic 2-pointer there.
Well, maybe taking them right back to the days of the academy. Yeah. And you saw the competition, and Darlan gets +1 on his former teammate.
Nice little moment, and we'll have loads of those coming through, threading through. Malawash came in fits and bursts, and finally came alive when he got his first points in the opening encounter yesterday. As we see that man Culpepper Sr. going up for the points. Nice rebound. Rebound doesn't happen. Oh my word! Put it in. Malawash, big time moment.
Well, now you understand why they've gone big. It's to try and control the boards.
Oh! Sky high in from the cold, dropping in to say hello. Big 3.
Darlan, 5 quick points to start out here for the Oilers.
And the 7 points have all been scored by the BAL Elevate players, which is wonderful, That is the advert we love to have here. Oh my word, stay out, you're not going through. Titus, you're not Titus on that occasion. That's a good pass. Bang, in it goes. Stunning stuff here. And once again, we see that Raleigh Fuller is the man at the moment.
Well, yesterday, Bangui were great in the first quarter. 29 points they went up, and they started the game well. They definitely energetic coming out of the starting out this game.
Culpepper Sr., nice pass, bounce pass down into Titus. Titus using the glass, gets flapped and tossed back. And Ganapamo picks it up fast and furious, the way that we like it. Get out of there, Malawash. But was it coming down? Oh, I think the points have been awarded, right?
They call a goaltender. Whoa, that call really interesting. But you look at the timing from Malawash. And yeah, there's a case. The good call. 2 points for Ganapamo.
Yeah, gravity was on their side on that occasion and against Malawash. But listen, that's a frantic couple of minutes, Q.
Electric couple of minutes. And you look at it. Fuller getting up the court on the fast break on the finish and back the other way. Titus Sodeke getting cleared out.
Here we go with Okello. James Okello with his first moment on the court here as the ball's being made safe here, and an opportunity. Malawash goes through, and of course it's a very soft, silky touch there from the big man.
Gets right by Darlan. So if we're looking at the score between the two players, it's 1 apiece.
I like the way it's going. That's a nice basket over the top. Good subtle touch there from Nwabuzor just to float it over the top.
Bangui looking very dangerous, sharp, and ready.
Yeah, this is a different scenario. Miller Jr. picks the ball up on the outside. Down into the paint it goes, trying to wrestle himself away. Malawash makes the big statement dunk there. Following up, that's massive.
Second statement dunk. He just keeps clearing it out, and that 7'2" frame is almost impossible to keep off the boards.
Well, that's they get possession back. The Bangui, just look at this. There's Malawash. Oh, yeah, pick it up and put it in. You know?
Darlin does fantastic work to pick up the block, but if you keep Kaman that close to the rim, he's going to finish it every single time.
It's because he doesn't have to jump, Q.
It doesn't jump. He doesn't need to jump that much.
Malawash, here he is. Gaman Malawash going for three. This is what he can do as well. Massive bucket there. Look at that. Poetry in motion, lasering in for a big three.
9 Kaman Malawash points. Now he was 0-4 from the three-point line yesterday, and he found his touch from beyond the arc.
This is impressive stuff, isn't it? Ganapamo trying to get himself tucked behind Miller Jr., but foul's been committed there for an offensive from Ganapamo. They get possession back.
Frenetic start it really has been. Malawash has got all 9 points for the Oilers. And they've done well to fight their way back after that red hot start from Bangui.
Culpepper Senior in possession, down, waiting for some support. Kello picks it up, down, back out. And we've got that man, Rembe, getting involved as well. It's not been drained. They pick it up. Noabazor goes racing up into enemy territory. Mid-range 2. That's a fine score as well. He's doing pretty well. He's making a statement, scoring now. Two twos for him.
Cool, calm, and collected. Again, great read, and he is lethal, mid-range and beyond the arc.
Good support play here. Patrick Rambert doing really well to get themselves into the space. And Malawas trying to charge through. Foul has been committed.
Well, they have made Malawas the primary point of the offense. Here in the first quarter, Rambert finds him off the pick and roll, and he gets into the contact, into the paint, and a chance to go to the free throw line.
What a mishmash of scoring methodology with the Malawash just providing us with some extraordinary fireworks, you know, left, right, and centre. He is just he's the top boy out there at the moment.
There's been so much talk around him. You wonder how he manages to just stay focused, and he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he continues to just try to work hard every chance he gets on the basketball court. But this has been an impressive start. Yesterday, in the opening game, you felt there was a lot of pressure on him in the first half, and he came alive in the second half to pick up his 16 points. Has started the opposite way. He's got all 10 City Oilers points.
He didn't start scoring until, like late in the second quarter, Q, I think. And, that just tells you that, the confidence boost of getting those first points opens something up inside of your head and says, yeah, I can start, letting myself go now. Darlin trying to go for a fine shot from long range, doesn't manage to put the points on the board, picked up. Taken forward here, Dane Miller Jr. of the City Oilers, Uganda's finest, showing us what they're capable of doing. Nice pass indeed. That is beautifully done. Into the hands of Okello. Rises up and scores the two. It's 13-12.
I love the use of the body there from Okello. He established himself well in the paint to get that finish on Darlan.
Another great pass there coming from Jim Rabbi. Culpepper Senior for the three. Big score there from down the left side.
Transition bucket wide open. Culpepper knocks that down, and he gives the City Oilers the lead. They fought all the way back to pick up a 2-point lead, and they just credit their tenacity so far in this first quarter.
Listen, the fact that Karim Nesbar will be very happy with the way things have turned around. They've got a 2-point lead here, but I think this is going to be a roller coaster ride here in Cairo for the second day of action here between Bangui Sporting Club and the City Oilers. It's 13-15, time for a small break. Yeah, welcome back to the Hassan Mustafa Indoor Sports Complex here in Cairo. Well, there he is, that man, Randy Culpepper Senior, part of this City Oilers team who've scrambled back and provided us with some fine, slick basketball, edging ahead. Karim Nesbar will be happy, the coach of the Ugandan team, as they play the roller coaster ride with Bangui SC.
Well, Bangui were perfect from the field in that first stanza of play on the interior, 5-of-5 on the inside, and they're executing pretty well. They've just got to figure out ways to create some stops on the defensive end.
Darlan goes up for a big bucket. That's a fine score as well for the youngster.
A great wide open look. He knocks down the second three-pointer. He's now got 8.
Culpepper Senior. Get up down to Malawas. You won't stop him from there, or will you? Well, Jim Rabbi, made a big courageous effort to try and get in his way.
Yeah, very difficult if he catches it that close. Jim Rabbi forced into the foul, and they continue to use and utilize the 7'2" frame of 17-year-old Kamal Malawash inside the paint with good effect.
And he'll go straight up to the free throw line and try and add more points to his tally. He's already got 10 and leads the board so far.
You know what's interesting, when he does match up against Darlan, they're both BWB Basketball Borders MVPs, and they will both come through the NBA Academy program. He's about to graduate. He's he has committed to Duke University, and there's a lot of talk about Malawash going in the top 5, and potentially being drafted in the top 5 next year in the NBA.
Which is absolutely massive if you think about it, you know. And, well, the way that he's playing today, honestly, anything's possible. That's a really nice floater over the top there from Ganapamo. He needs to get points to build his confidence.
He's already made more field goals in this first quarter than he did in yesterday's game, and that will give him some confidence for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Culpeper Senior just picking the ball up, going around the outside, arcing, trying to get a long-range high shot over the top. It comes back to Rumba. Rumba's trying to get his bucket there, but there's they're going to get possession back, aren't they? Bangui, it looks like 18-17, unable to get those points on that phase of attack.
They have got to continue to try and battle on the boards. They've allowed second chance opportunities just too many times for the City Oilers.
Oh, it's another fine long-range shot there from Ganapamo. He's on fire, kind of like sort of, you know, he was hot and cold in the opener, didn't really see what he's capable of doing. That's the kind of play that we love from the Central African Republic's finest.
Bangui are 80% from the field. They are red hot.
Big scores. Ganapamo gets the ball back up. Bangui launched the attack. Nwabuzor once again just goes to the left, doesn't manage to get his range. And it's been tidied up at the back. Let's see how they recycle this. Malawash tries to get his pass down into Kello, doesn't happen. They go again. Ganapamo unable to control very well, gets the ball back. Here's Rolly Fuller for a 3. And goes back out. Jim Rabai, a wonderful pass. Look at that from Darlan.
Well, just so patient they were on that possession, and nice work from Bangui, waiting for the cut from Darlan. Darlan gets inside and is able to showcase some of that athleticism. Credit to Bangui, the work by Jim Rabai, the patience, and you look at the finish with the right hand, elegance personified.
Yeah, it's a wonderful angle to take. You know that you're off balance as well. Stunning score there, and 23-17. Just look at this, goes around Malawash in a very sneaky, crafty way, off the glass and in. And the youngsters, the young boys showing off, but that pass there, the patience from Jim Rabai, the captain of this Bangui team, just waiting, knowing that it was really important to just hold it for a second.
Well, both Darlan and Malawash in double figures now, and it's been a good start for the youngsters on the team. A lot of talk around Darlan because of his time at the G League Ignite. 7 points yesterday, already he has surpassed his output as well.
Well, let's take a look at some of the game stats from both sides. You can see the Darlan and Malawash with double figures, of course, but Ganapamo, very impressive in this opening quarter.
And that's how you bounce back off a 1 for 15 from the field performance. You come back and you make sure that you knock down every shot, and perfect from the field so far for Evans Ganapamo. Nwabuzor is 4-4, ball distribution, finding the shooters, and Bangui have been really good. You look at the high efficiency rate that from the field, and they continue to just knock down shots with confidence, and they are making them. 71% they are so far.
Come on, Malawash, there he is. And Thierry Darlan, 2.03 the height for the player who's into double figures just like his buddy.
Well, he's got a 7'1" wingspan as well.
Now Bashir's come on for the City Oilers as they go, and here he is, Bashir. He's an interesting player, very aggressive, carved through the paint in such a big way against Ahly, and caused a few issues in that opening quarter, of course, but afterwards spent a little bit more time on the bench. Let's see what he can produce off the bench today.
Well, let's see if he can have an impact inside the paint. Bashir was able to draw 4 fouls yesterday because of his aggressive style of play, and he'll try and do that. Just a little moment here as Ngafe and Kaman Malawash get tied up and tangled up, but there is a moment now, and Coach Karim Nesba, he can't call for the replay, but he stated his case nonetheless to the referee about the aggression or perhaps the intent from Ngafe on that rebound and protecting the ball.
And the discussions taking place here between the officials, Kelsey Reynolds and Umar Sy of Mauritania, the two players who are just having a little bit of a chat, because it's always important for them to just, you know, touch base. And of course, you got Joyce Muchenu of Zimbabwe, but there they got tangled up. There's a hold there, of course, and
well, there's a moment there where Ngafe's arm gets extended, not in the first sequence of contact, but in the second, and that might be what they're looking at. And there may be a foul call. They might scale it up. They might interpret it as done with intent.
(23-17), Bangui have a 6-point lead after the Oilers had just clawed back before the timeout, but those points that came in, you know, right off the back of that timeout have obviously enabled Bangui to get themselves right back into this. Just waiting for the result of the official review. As you can see, Malawash, as you mentioned, Q, with Omega Ngaife of Central African Republic. So the ball's over the top of their head, and there's the, there you go.
That's the moment
left elbow
that they're looking at. And the foul committed by Malawash there, but the question really is there, and when you look at it, there is no intent there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's
it's inadvertent. Yeah, if you look at it from that perspective.
But look at Kaman Malawash's right arm. It's in his face as well. So, you know, he can't see because his head's being pushed to the side, and then the left arm comes around. Honestly, if they just, you know, I don't think that there was anything malicious involved in that little tangled up scenario. That's just part of the game, right?
I think it's part of the game. Referee Kelsey Reynolds just conferring with Joyce Mucheno and Omar Sy just to see if there's agreement in terms of the decision they're about to make.
Eba El Hadidi of Egypt is the commissioner talking with Kelsey Reynolds.
Okay, but we still have a foul on.
So they look like they called the hold and the unsportsmanlike on Omega and Ngafe, so he'll pick it up.
Well, I mean, you know, it is the movement of that left elbow.
I mean,
that's the call. That's the call.
It's an interesting call. It's an interesting call.
The call's been made, and that's what it is. So.
After reviewing the play, it's an unsportsmanlike foul, and Bangui sees number 41, and still have got a normal foul on City.
That means 2 shots for Malawash and a chance to extend or try to get into that 6-point Bangui lead.
First one is good for Malawash as he just increases his tally to 13 up to 14. And they get possession back as well, you know, for obviously the unsportsmanlike foul. So it will be Culpepper Senior who will get his hands on this and try and, as you said, just get themselves back into this Bangui lead. 4 points at the moment, Culpepper. Shot clock down to 6 seconds. Got to go for it. Rambert tries to find his range. That's a good rebound. That's a great rebound, isn't it? James O'Kelly getting himself into that position. Not the first time he's done it either, Q.
Stays solid inside the zone, and if you don't put a body on him, he's going to pick up the board and straight up score.
He's done that twice now. He's one of the players that he'll be catching a little bit of attention from Francois Nige.
Ball is stolen there by Malawash.
He can do everything, and he goes for a big, long distance shot there from way downtown. Doesn't fall on the right side of the rim. Rabizur, Rolly Fuller, Ganapamo. He's hitting his range, but on that occasion, in and out, back into the hands of Patrick Lambert. He's not a starting five for the Oilers in their opening encounter, but he's most definitely part of the starting five today as we're back level 23 each.
He gets his first field goal. Nice read and good finish by Lambert.
Long range shot coming in, Malawash makes it safe. 10 of 15 field goal percentage for Bangui so far. Oh, that is just poetry in motion. Beautiful long range shot there. Coming in, dropped in perfectly. The man Bashir.
They get up, and before the zone can set, some good passing gets Bashir a wide open shot, which he knocks down.
Nuabuzor. Nuabuzor, bit of space, gets it back out to Ganapamo. Got options down in the corner, goes himself. Unable to get that shot as Malawash with a little bit of contact there as he just climbed up to try and get the rebounds. A little bit of contact on Amiga Ngaife. Same pair getting involved again and getting caught up.
Ganapamo gets to his spot, and same rhythm jump shot, just comes off the front iron, and again, it's the separation is able to create. Is now 3 for 5 from the field. Is Ganapamo, and there's Malawash and Ngaife just getting caught up again, and we keep an eye on that little battle. They look like they're searching out for one another.
But Malawash has got 2 fouls as well as we enter the last 30 seconds, and that's an issue. Want to keep an eye on one of their key players. That's where was that going? It's not really going into the hands of Ngaife, or was it going to Ganapamo? That was the question.
Well, there's 2 personal fouls. You called out, Rob. He sees Malawash go to the bench. In comes Robinson Opong. They had some range. See if they can't open up the zone.
3-point lead. It's fluctuating from one side to the other until the last 10 seconds, of course. Shot clock will go down. Rwanda goes through the middle. Is he going to find his range? He doesn't manage to get it off the glass. Bit of contact. And it's the end of this first quarter. And the City Oilers have once again clambered back, and they nudged themselves ahead by 3, Q.
Well, fascinating it was. Bangui started out red hot in the first quarter. They were perfect from the field, and what we saw was really the City Oilers work their way back, claw their way back. Kamal Malawash great with his 14 points, and then some rebounding, some scoring, and the team starting to get involved.
Karim Nesba will be happy. Francois Nige with a few words of advice for his players. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Cairo here. Bangui SC up against City Oilers, and it is the Ugandan outfit who have a 3-point lead here in the Nile Conference of the BAL-Africa League at the end of the first quarter. So, what's next? Where are we going with this, Q? Because as far as I'm concerned, we're having a little bit of a tussle between 2 teams who are pretty well balanced if you actually look at the kind of basketball that they're playing out there today. They've both got some great scoring ability. Where's this going to go?
I guess we're going to find out, but really interesting to see that they worked the zone a little bit. Bangui threw a zone at the Oilers. The Oilers did well, and that's how they clawed their way back. Does Francis Nyenga persist with the zone, or does he switch it up a little bit in the second quarter, I guess, is the question.
Ganapamo getting the ball out, and well, they've brought on that man, Yassa Kamayenge, very skillful player. Reminds me a little bit of Chiladin Dow in the way that he's, you know, how he plays, how quick he is, and a wonderful playmaker as well. The ball into the hands of this man, Bashir. Bashir has bashed his way into the key on numerous occasions in game 1. Let's see if he can do the same out here today. Run there, around the outside. Waits for a little bit of support, goes down into the corners, a long-range shot coming in, the 3-pointer doesn't fall. It's been knocked back, he's He's on the, well, a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, I think
went
he got
back
away
on.
with that.
Big time. Miller Jr., Bashir. It goes up and it goes in. Lovely score there from the left side.
Well, they've got 7 offensive rebounds, and that'll make it the 11th point from the second chance point. So they really got to do a better job controlling the glass.
Hashtag the BAL, of course, and at the BAL for all of the socials. Long range shot, that's nicely done. And how about that? Goes in. Fine score there from Rolly Funo, once again showing us what he's capable of doing from long range.
Cool, calm, and composed, and he's been really doing that throughout the first couple of games for Bangui.
With Bashir, just a little step back, a little bit of contact there. He's going to get a few free throws, I think, after that little bit of contact when he was going for that three-pointer.
Same spot that he hit one from earlier. Looking to try and replicate, does pick up the foul, and he'll get a chance to go inside to the charity stripe.
Quite enjoying the energy between these two teams, because we know what kind of talent we've got on both sides of the court. How they use it and how they work together is something that we're starting to understand a little bit better as we see Kaman Malawash, of course, a little bit frustrated with those 2 fouls that he picked up in the first quarter, because he knows that it's not a player that you want to be, protected with cotton wool, basically. You want him out on the court, you want him in everybody's face because of what he can bring to the game.
Yeah, his value on the floor is ability to control the paint, and 2 fouls sees him sit on the bench for a little while. He's 6 of 7 from the free throw line. The City Oilers, Bangui, have yet to get to the free throw line in this game.
Here he is, versatile forward, former player of Al-Rasta, born in New York. In it goes. And 5-point lead here for City Oilers, the biggest lead that they've had against Bangui. Ball taken up there by Yasser Kamayenge, and drops it into the path of Lualwek. Ganapamo goes up again. It's a fine score for Ganapamo, showing the way, and up to 9 points.
Well, he gets the chance to go to work. He's not looking to try and facilitate right now. Ganapamo trying to carry the scoring load for Bangui Sporting Club.
Bashir trying to find a way. Gets the ball into the path of Miller Jr. A little slip there as he tried to pivot himself around. Picked up there by Wegschneider. Gets the ball back out. Nicely done there. Wonderfully done. Getting rid of it. Kemayenge. Oh, my word. Get it in there. And Ganapamo showing us what he's capable of doing. That's fantastic stuff.
When you speak about Kamayenge and you speak about his guile, it's his ability to get the defense up. Once the defense reacts, he's a great facilitator. And you look at the work that he does, the drop-off pass at Ganapamo. We've seen that gun show one too many times. Fantastic, takes him to 11 points.
Yeah, double figures, and the second player after Thierry Dallanet. And again, we see that Bangui just clawing back, and it's 30 points for Bangui and 31 for the City Oilers. Ganapamo staking his claim as one of the key players for the team from the Central African Republic. Time for a small break. Yeah, welcome back to Cairo here as we see that the City Oilers have at the edge. Kaman Malawashi may have picked up the two fouls, of course, but just look at his impact in the game for the City Oilers so far.
I wish we had a look at his first half stats from the last game, and we would have seen the comparison, but really has put together a good performance, and he's back on the floor now for the Oilers and Coach Karim Nesba.
I don't think the figures were as high as they were there, that's for sure. Here he is, Culpepper, driving through the paint. And claims there's a little bit of contact there, but it falls on deaf ears. They get possession back, Bangui, and they will go again.
Yeah, not the ideal outcome, just out of the timeout. That's some good defensive work, and he gets the ball to bounce off the knee of Culpepper.
They'll get the ball to Ganapamo. He's the man to go to. Look at the shot. It doesn't manage to fall, and picked up. He wrestles the ball back, doesn't he, Yasser Kamayenge? And good strong play there from the playmaker.
Yeah, that was really strong work by Kamayenge. He wrestles the ball away, and he's is able to pick up the foul, and he has an impact coming in off the bench for this team. Is able to play an extra ball distributor, and he's a scorer.
Former coach of FAP, of course, Francois Nyenge is the man who's behind this Bangui Sporting Club campaign here in Cairo. Looking to try and lead them through until the finals in Kigali. Of course, there's a big charge from Bashir. Beautifully done. Keeps away from trouble.
Yeah, he is fantastic going downhill. He just uses his athleticism and skill, and he gets the score. Takes the lead up 3, and there's another look at what Bashir was able to do. Short of Kamayenge, nothing Ngafe could do once Bashir had time and space.
Yeah, no, the Swatters were kept at bay. Here we go again with Kamayenge getting the ball out into the hands of Ganabamo. Comes back out, an opportunity here. As Wakeside is just getting the ball into the hands, and just look at that. That's fantastic play. What they do is just pass the ball around really nicely, Bangui, into the hands of Wok, who manages to get the score there. It's 32 points to 33. Foul committed as well.
That is important because it gets a chance for Bangui to actually get to the free throw line. They got to look to. They've relied on the outside shot, and they've been good in terms of them knocking down jump shots. But now trying to change up their style of play and perhaps just get a little bit more physical inside the paint.
Sorry, carry on, Q.
Nyangwek, South Sudan international, represented South Sudan at the 2021 AfroBasket. He gets the three-point play.
South Sudan up against USA at the Olympics this summer. Something to very look forward to. Egypt were the second best team from Africa, of course, qualifying. 33-33, free throws 7 from 8 for the City Oilers, just 1 from 1 for Bangui. Long range shot, the attempt to try and keep it in. Look at these guys flying around.
Fantastic work to keep that ball alive.
Like a personal game between those boys from Bangui. Absolutely love it. Nwabizor goes on a little bit of a wander. Mid-range 2. Nice score there, of course, once again. And he's up to 6 points.
You talk about elevation on the jump shot. Nwabizor getting up very high to make sure that that bucket gets in. And you have a look at the work and the commitment from this team. Because of the foot of Ganapamo, they keep it alive.
Malawash has come back on, of course, as he tries to wrestle the ball back unsuccessfully on that occasion. Good work from Lowell Weck. The battle between the South Sudanese players, wonderfully done underneath the basket, and a fine score indeed coming from that man, Kurt Wegscheider.
Well, the whole Bangui team is looking under control. They're not being pressured into doing anything, and that's uncomfortable for them. And that's a great read by Wegscheider.
And it's a very fast phase of play there for Bangui, who've just accelerated. Big charge going down the right-hand side there for Dane Miller Jr. Doesn't manage to get itself in. Contact has been made. He goes to the free throw line.
Miller Jr. versatility, and when he's got the ball on the floor coming downhill, it's a familiar sight. We've seen him throw down those kind of dunks a couple of times. This time it rattles out, but he goes to the free throw line. Was 2 of 9 in the opening performance yesterday. Struggled at 22%, 64% he is in terms of the BAL and the free throw line, and he's got to try it and see if he can get it together.
Talked about the word elevate. The way that Dane Miller Jr., when he kind of rises up and he floats through, he literally looks as though he's walking on clouds. As he steps up and gets himself down, he really does have great agility and wonderful physical ability to just get himself off the ground, and he stays up there for a long time, doesn't he?
And he's just really strong.
Oh yeah, there's that as well, Q. Thanks for throwing it on the pile. Dane Miller Jr. Quality. Back in possession. Nwabizor going through the middle. Weck, and there's a chance to try and drop it in. That's nicely done. We actually saw Lowell Weck just picking the ball up on the left-hand side. He goes up, doesn't really smash it down, but good work.
Out under control again, and that's great awareness from Fuller. He made sure to get Malawash to commit and got Weck the open look.
City Oilers go in search of some kind of a reaction. Culpepper, wonderful work as he weaves between the trees, of course, and he gets a couple of high fives from his teammates because he's a wily character when he goes on one of those little walk-throughs into the paint.
Veteran experience rather, and another look at just the composure here from Fuller as he gets inside, just tried to utilize the matchup, made sure that he got Malawash in the air, and that was a beautiful assist to Wick.
I think that whatever you try and do is just eliminate Malawash from the equation, which basically opens up a real big open boulevard. And there's still obstacles, but you get him out of the way. That's already an accomplishment, don't you think?
Yeah, he had 3 blocked shots yesterday, and it's not only his blocked shots, it's the way that he affects shots because of his height.
And it's a battle between the South Sudanese pairing, of course, you know, where you've got Weck there and Malawash. Look at that. That is stunning there. Ronnie Fuller rolls in a big 3 from down that left side.
You get the sense every time he shoots that it's about to go in. He's just got such good shooting touch at the moment.
And we talked about Rimber and how key and instrumental he was for the City Oilers yesterday. He's only got 2 points. He's been a little bit off par today, isn't he? Well, that was, I thought it was a travelling call there, going to go against James Okello, but he still managed to get the pass back, but not into the right player's hands because it's Ganapamo at the other end who steals the show.
Ganapamo had options, just opted to go straight at the defense, and he gets 2, and now it's a 9-point lead for Bangui.
Yeah, Ganapamo up to 13 points. There's the long-range shot there from Okello, well, mid-range if you like, as the ball's flung aimlessly down court, but goes out of play. 44-35, 3:23 left of this first half. Bangui have just hit the overdrive gear, haven't they?
They are playing fantastic basketball, under control, making the right choices, and you have a look, Fuller locked in, and he knocks down another long-range shot.
Hitting 8 points so far, Q, so not quite into double figures, but the next score potentially, yes. Culpepper, dodging, diving, ducking, weaving, sneaking around the side, gets the ball back into the hands of Ramba. Ramba with a lovely drive, keeps it safe and puts it in the basket.
When they need a timely bucket, that's the guy they look at. Remember, beautiful read, gets inside for a 2 with the lift.
He's been driving forward. Nwabuzor, big long-range shots. Flapped away there by Malawash, who should have tried to keep hold of the ball, but it's going to be the City, or it's going to be a Bangui who get possession back. There we can see the replay.
Another look at that beautiful drive in from Rimbers. He goes with the left hand. He's versatile, and we saw some of that scoring yesterday.
Oh, Ganapamo hits that big 3 down in the corner, and finally he does hit his double figures. He's up to 15 points now.
As many points as shots that he took yesterday. Now 15. Ganapamo leads the way for Bangui.
He's a different player. It's alter egos on the court today. Hugh, look at this, nicely done. A steal, a pinch. Culpepper drops it in for 2. Important points there for the Oilers.
Right, he doesn't get rewarded for his hustle, does Nwabuzor. Hands the ball right back, and it's 2 quick points for the Oilers. Needed points for the Oilers.
A big battle here as we continue. Culpepper around the outside. Good slick passing, Dave Miller Jr. Rumba tries to get the 3 points. He's still not hitting his range, is he? 4 points there for Rumba, and he wants to do better than that. Ganapamo, meanwhile, at the other end, is just having an absolute dream start to this second game. But not on that occasion. Commentator's curse, I believe they call it.
That is what they call it. I also know there's a commentator's blessing, so sometimes it actually works out.
There you go. There's got to be a positive and a negative, right?
Got it. Another look at the out-of-bounds situation. Looked like Culpepper got that last touch, and the work from Wick, the commitment from Wick, gets the possession back.
And a little change. The Robinson Opong who's come on for the City Oilers. There's Culpepper. There's the long-range shot as he falls back and tries to hit his range there. Ganapamo, of course. And, well, he gets back up onto his feet. And we know where he's going to head to.
Yeah, he averaged around 18 points in the road to the BAL-Africa League qualifiers for Bangui, and you know that once he gets it going, he's the kind of guy that you want to try and unlock. Has gone 20+ points in the qualifiers, 25 points against Slack, and we'll continue to see him. He's a known quantity, a known scorer on the continent.
His parents are actually doctors. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So, you know, smart people, of course, and he's chosen basketball as his career path. And, you know, they're actually... They're operating, if you like, in the United States, but he's here in Africa, and he's, you know, just representing his CAR in a big way.
Yeah, operating in a different way.
Yeah,
a little bit more surgical on the court.
Surgical precision, being meticulous. There we go. It's we know we can bring in the terminology if you like it. There's a nice little. Oh, look at the hands there. Beautiful layup. That was fantastic stuff there from Titus Odeke.
Acrobatic and beautiful finish from Odeke.
Here's Weck down into the corner. Little change of speed there. That's a great score as well, coming in from that man Weck. Can produce some good scores when he wants.
They're just so comfortable on the offensive end. They're getting the kind of looks they want, and 61% they are from the field.
That's Rwanda. Stay out of there big time. Weck doing a really good job. Well, there's a big battle there, and I think there's contact there by Noah Buzor, just on that man Robinson Opong.
But those last 2 possessions tell you a story. You have a look at the wide open shot that happened on the side of Bangui, and when you come the opposite end, the Bangui defense, first is the contest and the block from Darlan on the inside. And you have a look at that timing and the 7-foot wingspan, just making sure that the access is denied. And the second shot was again well contested. Oilers keep the ball alive, but they're not getting wide open looks the same way they're being given wide open looks on the other end.
Patrick Rembe just gets the ball out to Opong for 3. 3 doesn't happen. Made safe there by Noah Buzor. He's having a really good game today. 6 points for him. But just the distribution and you know, he's orchestrating. Darlan unable to keep the possession, still managed to keep hold of it. Bangui going up for it, and there's a chance there. But it doesn't manage to fall for Nambai. Getting his first moments on court. 23 seconds remaining here. Miller Jr. and a chance for them to just bring down that 9-point advantage that Bangui boast with for the last couple of plays of this first half.
4-second differential between shot and game clock.
Patrick Rambert goes up, unable to have it sink, and it's gonna be the Oilers who pick up possession here. 3.7.
Yeah, 3.7 seconds to manufacture something from the baseline and actually get a score to go into the half.
Got to move quickly, got to find the right. There it is, lovely layup as well. That's fantastic stuff. And great score there for Rambert. And they finally do get a 7-point difference here between Bangui Sporting Club and the City Oilers of Uganda. Rambert finally getting 6 points, and that's a decent scenario, but they've got work to do.
You have a look here again, talking about the defensive intensity of Bangui. That's the block, and a second block on the contest of that Robinson Opong shot. Defense has led the way, and Bangui Sport take a 7-point lead into the half.
It features your very own Ahly al-Masri and Libya's Ahly Bani Ghazi.
Yeah, welcome back to Cairo here. It's the halftime show with the Hunters crew, just providing us with some dancing on court. We've seen some dancing on court from the players as well. Bangui City Oilers, 7 lead changes in this encounter, Q. It's been mesmerizing.
Well, 4 times they've been tied, and yes, we've seen some ups and downs. And Kaman Malawash was dominant early for the City Oilers, and it was talking about defense. Another look at the way that he gets the paint impact as it gets a block there. 14 points, 6 rebounds, and there was 2 block shots for Kaman Malawash in the first half. Bangui, it was Darlan, first player into double figures for this very impressive Bangui team. They were efficient in their execution on the offensive end, 16 of 19. That's 84% on the interior, and Darlan had a quiet introduction in the first game, 10 points in the first half. Kamayenge feeding Ganapama, who was probably the standout player for Bangui on his 17 points, and he got it done in a variety of ways, and he's picked up his performance from a disappointing 3-point outing in their loss yesterday evening.
There's Bashir just slicing through the Bangui defense and keeping himself clear of danger with a beautiful layup there, showing off his brash way of just getting in the faces of the defenders. But let's have a look at the game stats there.
17 points on 7 of 11 shots, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. assists as Evans Ganapamo spearheads that Bangui offense. The City Oilers, come on, Malawash 14-6. He's got 2 fouls. He's got to keep an eye on his foul situation. Bashir Ahmed with his 10 points and a single rebound. Culpepper Sr. and Rembert have been quiet. They've been trying to facilitate. Rembert struggled just a little bit. He's 3 of 10 from the field. Rolly Fuller, another name that you got to have a look out for. He's 3 of 7 for his 8 points, and he'll definitely have an impact as the game continues. When we have a look at the stats, Robbie Dockett, that's 60% from the field. They have struggled just a little bit, started red hot from the three-point line, went a little bit cold in the second quarter, but 5 of 16, and they're still getting wide open looks, the kind of looks that they want. The rebounding battle is +1 to the City Oilers, but they've done a fantastic job because 10 of those rebounds have been on the offensive end, and really just they've been dominant on the boards, and they're looking to try and convert that. I think something that can be adjusted at halftime. The coaches have got some work to do. It's been fascinating, the 7-point differential, and what the second half will bring, I think, is going to be interesting indeed.
Yeah, I think when we look at the, it's the lead changes which have been, quite interesting because they've been reactive. I think both teams have been reactive in the way that they actually look at how they can clamber back. Few changes, few adjustments, working really well. Bangui SC lead the City Oilers 50-43. Well, let's take a look at Ganapamo here in Cairo.
Let's take a look
some of the fine moves, because we didn't see him in the first game. I mean, the little flashes, but what he's capable of doing, Q, he can just light up the court every single time that he hits that top gear.
6 of 7 on the interior for Evans Ganapamo, 64%. And he's also tried to find his range. He struggled a little bit from the perimeter, 1 of 4, but that gives him the 25%. But you look at the improvement on that opening day performance. He was 1 of 15 for that 7% from the field, and that's how you pick yourself up as a player. It's a day-to-day thing, and the level of competition here in the BAL-Africa League is tough, especially with the defenses throw at you. And on the other side has been Kaman Maluwash, 17 years old, 7'2", and utilizing and being given license on the offensive end is giving us another bit of insight into the versatility of his game. He's stretched the floor, been able to knock down shots on the inside. He's definitely had presence on the glass on the defensive and offensive side. He had a pretty impressive performance in the first half. Take in mind, Robbie, that in the last game, those 16 points all came in the second half on 50% shooting. He's right about on the number that you expect him to have, 14.6 boards. He's going to try and have the same kind of impact in the second half.
Bangui 50, City Oilers 43. We'll take a break and we'll be back for the start of the third quarter. We are all for the game, Basketball Africa League. And Mr. Dixon, we've seen him play in the BAL before. He plays at Al Ittihad in Alexandria. He knows Egyptian basketball very well. Michael Dixon there, of course. Evans Ganapamo, the man of the moment, I suppose we could say, for Bangui.
Well, definitely picking up his performance in that first half, and he's going to have to play a similar role. He thought, the way he came out and the way he's been looking with ball in hand is that he's going to try and spearhead the offense no matter what happens. It's been successful tactic for him and for Bangui in the first half. Can he pick up where he left off in the second half is the question.
64% field goal percentage, just to give you an idea of where he's at. He's got his range, he's hitting the mark, and that is pretty impressive. Kaman Maluwash on the other side, 67% field goal percentage as well, last game 50. But I think that it's his all-round game, the confidence of these two players and how they've managed to, find their place in this game, it was a little bit complicated for them in their openers.
Well, if you have an athletic, versatile big you can build around, and that is what they are trying to do. They're trying to get Maluwash a couple more touches, but we'll see what the second half has to hold.
And there he is, Dave Miller Jr. getting the first points and just nudging them up to 5 points. So it's the Oilers who start off with a fine score.
First field goal there for Dave Miller Jr. He's been quiet in the first half. I expect that we'll see a little bit more of him here in the second.
Oh, nicely done, wonderful. And he's again providing the pass, isn't he? That man, Jim Rabbi, perfectly done into the hands of Fuller. Fuller with more points.
Great distribution, and he's the kind of guy that you can just cut off and he has the ability to create his own offense.
Dane Miller Jr. stepping it up again. That's a fine score as well. Back-to-back scores there for the American. 52-47. Ganapamo drops it into the path of the ever-dangerous Jimmy Rabai. Beautiful hook over the top there, Q.
Super skillful, and he was very aware of who was guarding him. Got that hook up over the outstretched frame of Maluash.
We'll get a few more of those, and we might give him the name of Captain Hook.
Maybe.
Bashir! Oh, that's a fine score as well. We're really high with that, didn't he, Bashir? But another fine score. In fact, the start of the second half has just lit this place up here in Cairo. We're loving it. Ganapamo unable to get his shot in. There's contact there from Rwanda.
Well, that turnaround jump shot on the baseline is something that is a little bit of a signature move from Ganapamo, especially if he's got a smaller defender on him on the baseline. Ganapamo, Nwabuzo, Nganga, Jimmy Rabai, and Thierry Darlan get the start for Coach Francis Nyege in the second half.
Bashir, Malawash, Miller Jr., Culpepper, and Rembet are the starting five going into the second half. Ganapamo, a rare miss. He's the top scorer out here so far. Only Malawash with 14 points on the other side, but 17. We've got 3 players in double figures here for Bangui with Rolly Fuller and Terry Darlan. The battle to try and get possession back. Comes back to Ganapamo, tries to deal with Rambert, goes back, is Rolly Fuller back into the hands of the ever-dangerous Nwabuzo, makes space. He's got a big man in front of him, goes on a big charge, great acceleration, gets around Malawash on the layup for 2.
There's a lot to like about the way that Nwabuzo is going about constructing his game. He's not trying to do too much, and he's picking the moments where he can be effective on the offensive end.
A former player for Slack, of course, in Guinea. Dane Miller Jr. getting tangled up with Jim Rabai. He's not going past that man.
Another former player of Slack, and that's Dane Miller Jr. trying to go right at Jim Rabai. Maybe a case for some contact, but the ball will stay with the Oilers.
Dane Miller Jr. Culpepper out to Malawash. That's a big score from downtown. The big man can shoot from distance.
Second connection from long range, and Malawash up to 17.
56-52. And the lead comes down to 4 points once again. Jim Rabai out for Darlan. Darlan with a big 3.
Both offenses are just functioning at a super high level right now, and they are making it rain buckets here in Egypt.
There you go, rain buckets. Can you say that in any other sport?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Oi, just losing his little path, a little bit of lack of concentration. Jim Rabai steals the ball from Miller Jr. Lost his way a little bit there, didn't he?
Yeah, lost the handle a bit, and as the ball goes to the floor, there's a scramble for it. Just getting tangled up right there with Darlan. The commitment to try and get the basketball clear from both teams.
Look at Darlan just falling over Miller Jr. completely. There you go. I think World Wrestling, a federation will have something to say about that.
Maybe looking out for some new talent.
Jim Rabai into the hands of Ganapamo, waits patiently, deals with Rambert. Nice shot, mid-range 2, but the fallback, he's got so much panache when he provides us with those kind of shots.
This time goes over the left shoulder, just facing up over the shorter defender, extends and gets the 2.
You kind of talk about, it's kind of like a signature. It is. He's quite happy with that. Malawash, oh, put it in. Easy pass, Culpepper, I saw him. There you go, Coach, I saw him.
Great find. Malawash wide open inside the paint.
61-54. They're not allowing Bangui to just move ahead. Jim Rabai going up. That's a nice 2 just inside of the arc.
Back and forth we go. We're not seeing much defense, but we're seeing some really great offense.
That's very true. True from the cue. Culpepper having the ball just knocked out of his hands there by Darlan. Malawash showing off his footballing skills. Apparently he's really good at football.
Well, we have a look at his basketball ability right now as he catches the ball inside the paint. Very little Ganapamo could do. Malawash, the quick flush this time.
Easy. Rwanda. Day Miller Jr. Always nearly lost the possession once again. Needs to be a little bit careful. Ollie Fuller's there and tries to use the glass to get that angled shot in. A little bit of contact there from Fuller, so he will go to the free throw line. No. Oh yeah, he will. He'll go into the free throw line. It was contact. Let's just have a look at the replay. It's getting tangled up already. That left hand. And you got Ganapamo there as well getting involved, but that's the contact on the left arm. Bit of everything, in fact, Q.
Right there, the picture spoke 1,000 words, and it's now Day Miller Jr. back to a place that has brought him some frustration throughout conference play so far. He's trying to find his touch and feel from the free throw line.
Shooting.
5, 4, 3. What these stats look like right now.
Yeah, these are the points you need to score. Of course, you need to not allow Bangui from racing ahead. They got an 8-point lead as we approach the midway mark in the third quarter. Wabazur, Ganapamo, these guys are working very well together, passing the ball around nicely. Jim Rabai tries to roll around Malawash, doesn't happen. Wabazur picks it up, ball back attempt for 2. And it's a good score as well, and he's up to double figures there, and he is the 4th player in this Bangui team to hit double digits.
I like his shot selection. I really have enjoyed the way he's going about constructing his game. And double digits he has, but it's also a 10-point lead for Bangui over the Oilers.
Possession back in the hands of Rwanda. And City Oilers, Miller Jr. goes out wide. Opportunity to shoot, Miller Jr. Lots of time, that's a fine score as well. Such an important score as well. 3-pointer there for Miller Jr. Look at him, he's up to 9.
You won't see him take too many of those 3-point shots. Prefers to put it on the floor, but he makes that one wide open. Important make for the Oilers.
7-point lead now. Oh, no one's stopping him. You've got to get there and get in his way. Darlan, outrageous.
Red Sea's parted on the baseline. Darlan extends for the one-handed jab.
There it is, dropped into the path of Malawash. He's trying to respond, lose a bit of possession. Jim Rabai does well, and it comes out wide. Ganapamo, get out of there. Day Miller Jr. saying, no pasada nada.
That was fantastic work by Miller Jr.
Oh, Malawash.
Malawash gets the bucket.
Gets the bucket.
You can count it.
19 points, level with Ganapamo. Look at all of that. That's all. I love it. 21, sorry. He's the top scorer now.
And another look at the shot from Dame Miller Jr. connecting wide open. Rifles it in.
4:30 left on the clock in there. Look at that. I love Dame Miller Jr. Happy days. Well, we got a timeout that's been called, of course. 67 points to 60. We'll take a small break. 67-60. Bangui have that lead, but the City Oilers keep on coming back. Dame Miller Jr. coming to the fore. Malawash has a chance to try and reduce the arrears because he goes to the free throw line. There's a lot of tactics going on here, Q, and the City Oilers. They're desperate to get themselves back into that lead.
Bangui continue to hold on to a 7-point lead. It was 50-43 at the half, and they've been unable, the City Oilers, to make inroads into the lead as yet, and both teams just really functioning at a high level on the offensive end. Technical foul,
yeah,
on the bench of Team Bangui.
And you can see that that's stirred up a reaction there from Francois Nyenge. And the explanation there from Omar Sy of Mauritania, who's just going through the reasons why. And Rwanda goes up and he'll get a free throw, but the problem is that he didn't manage to sink it. It's an opportunity lost.
Yeah, opportunity lost, and you saw him just go across and high-five Malawash, because usually what you want is the shooter who's right there to just take the shot because he's already in rhythm. Well, there's a chance missed there for the Oilers to try and get a little bit closer in this one.
No Abizur. And the ball picked up by Ganapamo, goes on a roll. He doesn't manage to get the points, but you know, every time that he goes down into that corner, you know that it's super, super dangerous. But they'll get possession back.
Again, he likes the matchup with Rimberi. He's going into the corner. They are getting him in the low post, and there's the contact call.
No Abizur, another chance. And Dave Miller Jr., Ganapamo getting quite close to each other. And again, as you can see, that he just gets his hand and there's a little bit of contact on Ganapamo. And it's an intriguing little tussle taking place between these boys, Q.
Miller Jr. and Ganapamo, there's something happening there. And now they've switched the matchup on Ganapamo, and he still opts to go down low into the post.
They're both very physical, of course. So it's going to be an intriguing little tussle. Malawash making it safe underneath the basket, taken forward there by Culpeper. It's a 6-point lead here for Bangui. Waits for support. Rember's got there. Malawash makes the block, blocks out the light, blocks out absolutely everybody. He's so big. Taken forward. Dane Miller Jr. up against Ganapamo, this time on offensive for the American. And, well, contact from Ganapamo.
And that's a direct result of what we saw happen on the other end. Dave Miller Jr. saying, I got you as well. Let me go and let me get some of this work in the post. And he draws the contact from Ganapamo, getting right into his chest. And he'll pick up the foul.
Just as well he didn't lift his feet off the ground, otherwise it would have been called a traveling call against him. So, you know, quite smart in the way that he managed to just not lift himself up. Watched on there by Francois Nyingi, who is seeing the lead being cut down a little bit. This is working for Karim Nesbat, but you've got to get those shots from the free throw line.
Miller Jr. this time gets a perfect trip. Important makes, and they're back within 4.
4-point lead. We go again.
Off the ball contact as Miller Jr. goes to the ground. Weck is unhappy with the call, but he's now locked in. You feel it.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
Alive
isn't
and
it?
ready.
Yeah, but you know, it's you know, we talked about the likes of, you know, Ganapamo not playing his top game. That was the contact there, and you know, it's going directly against Lowell Weck on this occasion of South Sudan. Just nudging that shoulder into the player as he's trying to go past. We don't like to see that.
Well, sometimes there's got to be some selling done on the floor, and Dave Miller Jr. sold a good product at the referee's board.
Here we go. Culpeper, it's a 4-point game here in the third quarter, 3:21. Culpeper goes up, tries to get the points. Malawash unable to get his hands on that. It's been picked up there by Dalan. Goes down into the corner. Opportunity here. Ganapamo. And back into the hands of that man, Dalan. Shot clock down to single digits. Weck goes off the glass. Brilliant score there, but he's got a bit of a knock. He's down on the ground, and the referee and officials just stopping the game there because he was not in a good place.
Well, Weck ran into his own teammate Darlan. He went to ground immediately, and those kinds of knocks can be very uncomfortable. After banking down the three, you just see contact there with teammate Darlan.
It's his hip, isn't it? He just hits his, I don't know, you can see him limping a little bit, but it was a nerve shocker. You had the impression.
You're not sure hip or knee, because there could be a clash of knees, and that sees Weck going to go to the bench, and he's going to receive some attention.
Yeah, definitely. 2:52. And straight up to the free throw line for Culpeper, and 6 points. So a player who's he's played his role for the City Oilers. You know, it's not just about scoring points sometimes. You know, he chipped in for 6, but the distribution and the passing. Maybe it's time for him to come to the fore a little bit for the Oilers. Would change it around.
They've opted to go through their bigs at this point, Rimber, and Culpeper have got 6 points apiece. They're happy to play distributor now.
Yeah.
It's got to do with the way that they're constructing their strategy. I think we might see a shift in the fourth quarter, but you know, if they were able to make a couple more or get it back within 1 or 2 possessions, if it's not broken, they won't fix it.
Well, that's a good score there, and it's we saw 4 points, but now it's 6 points, 13 from 19, 68% free throws for City Oilers, doing pretty well. Darlan drops it into Jimmy Rabai. Jim Rabai tries to get it to the big man. Culpeper's there. He doesn't have the ball in his hands, taken out of his hands there by Jim Rabai. Great work. Darlan gets the ball back out. Jim Rabai gets rid of Culpeper. Out wide it goes. And last second, and there is going to be a foul going against, is it Treleva?
It's off the ball contact. I think when you see Rimbert, he walked away and receiving some attention there is Rick on the sideline. And a lot of work going into the thigh area.
So it was the top of the thigh. It was kind of like a spasm, wasn't it? You know, because the way that he just straightened his leg, it was like he cramped up to a certain extent. You know,
caused by the contact.
Yeah. Rolly Fuller out wide. Weg Schneider goes for a little bit of a dazzling move with those very bright sneakers that he wears. Down in the corner, Darlan for 3. Big score there for the Bangui demolition job man, Darlan.
Another big bucket, and you gotta like his shot selection as well today.
Oh, look at that. That is sensational from down on that left-hand side. What a brilliant score that was. Dropped in to say hello, Tony Treleva.
Wide open, important make. Treleva, first field goal.
6-point difference. And he spent too much time on the floor, so to get points like that is very important for his team, the City Oilers. 1:43 left in this third quarter. Jim Rabai goes up. Look, they're queuing up to try and smash that in. Who's going to get the points on that occasion? I think it's that man that is Kurt Weg-Schneider.
Weg-Schneider on the follow here. Just great work from Jim Rabai. And you look at Weg-Schneider over everyone. Count that as another BAL poster.
Look at the trees are queuing up. Boom.
Not a single body on him. He gets up over. And you can tell the happiness on his face after he completed that play.
Hey, look, he went to studied at Lubbock Christian University, Kurt Weg-Schneider. But it's his first taste of BAL. He's never played in the BAL before. So coming in and playing with Bangui SC, great stuff.
But they don't count the bucket. They call the foul on the ground, and it's going to be. It was why Jim Rabai went to the free throw line. It was a great highlight, but just doesn't count.
Oh my word! Culpeper, big shot from downtown, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point differential here between these two teams battling out for their first win here in the Nile Conference. Contact has been made, and a little bit concerning here for Dane Miller Jr. Needs to be a little bit careful. It's only a second foul, but in any case.
It was...
These are the points. They're giving away shots.
Use of his hands. It was right there in front of the official. And as soon as Fuller went to ground, Miller Jr. remonstrating, but it was very clearly an infringement.
But the thing is that both teams are on 5-team fouls, so we're going straight to the free throw line whenever there's an incident like that. So that's what I'm saying when it's a dangerous situation. It's not personal, it's just a team thing.
100%. Ronnie Fuller missed the first important free throws here for Bangui.
This time it's good. 4-point lead. Back in business. 1:09 left on the clock. We'll change the direction there for Treleva. Gets the ball back out to Culpeper Senior. Wonder if Culpeper Jr. plays just as well as Senior. That's a wonderful, wonderful move. And the attempt at the rebound doesn't happen. Malawash is there, and Dave Miller Jr. Canapamo gets the ball out. Here's Rolly Fuller. Rolls it back out. Culpeper can't get in the way. Jim Rabai back out wide. And Webazur unable to get his long-range 3. It's a frantic finale, isn't it, to this third quarter. The ball comes out. Good opportunity here. Long-range shot going in. Dave Miller Jr. with a chance to get his hands on it. Goes out of play. They'll get possession back, the Oilers.
Well, on the knife edge, important makes for both teams. They almost felt them pull the string on those wide open shots. 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
And they get moving very quickly. Nambai. Opong back on court. And that is a traveling call. Little bit of pressure. And it's not what you want to do. Drileba just losing possession there. Under pressure there from Jim Rabai, the captain of Bangui.
A really important possession because a chance to get it back within a single possession on that score. 22 seconds left. They fought back from the 7-point deficit at the start of the quarter. And now Bangui can keep it even, get it back to the 7 points that they started this half with.
But they need to put players like Bashir, who's just being brought on by Cam Nesra, because he knows that this has got to be tight, you know, for the next 22 seconds to give them a good platform to attack in the final quarter as Noab Rizor and the leading players. I don't even know if Ganapama's actually been to the bench. He doesn't know what it looks like. He's been on floor all the time. Here's Noab Rizor, the Nigerian master, just going on a little bit of a maneuver, but draws a little bit of attention straight to the free throw line.
Both teams in the penalty, and now a chance for Noab Rizor to just get it back up to that 6-point mark. There's 5.6 seconds left. It's enough time for the Oilers to manufacture something on the offensive end if Noab Rizor knocks down both shots.
Jimmy Jim Rabai. Just making sure that everybody is locked in. This is key. Just to finish off on a high. Bragging rights going into the fourth quarter. That shot's good. To pick up possession. An opportunity here. Jolaba's getting the ball up. It's going on a bit of a wonder. Can he get himself the shot? The shot goes up. It doesn't go in though. And that's the end of the third quarter. Jolaba, not the hero on this occasion with the buzzer beater. But a 5-point lead sets it up. And it's poised perfectly for a big showdown here on the banks of the River Nile here in Cairo between Bangui and the City Oilers. We will take a break. We'll be back. Hopefully will be fireworks and excitement coming to you here between this clash between Bangui and City Oilers. 5 points separate these two teams as we take a look at the game summary. Bangui City Oilers. Look at this, Q.
It's been very evenly matched. These teams are very well balanced in terms of the way they match up on the floor. 65% against the 45% of the City Oilers. 20 assists to 16. And where the City Oilers have been a little bit more dominant, has been on the glass. They've got a little bit more size. Both teams evenly matched in terms of the 8 of 20 from the 3-point line. The fourth quarter holds much promise. They've been going toe-to-toe, and I think it's going to be a tightly contested final 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to pick out Patrick Rembe. He's on 4 fouls. So one of the starting 5 players, of course, one of the key players along with Culpepper. They've been the boys distributing, like you mentioned, but with 4 fouls obviously leaves them in a bit of a situation there. On the other side, you got Jim Rabai and Rolly Fuller, who've got 3 each. Culpepper in possession. City Oilers. Oh, the ball just coming straight off the chest of James Okello. And they miss out on a chance to try and reduce the arrears to 3 or whatever.
They pick up their 9th turnover. Okello can't hold the ball. More importantly, it gives Bangui a chance to try and extend their lead. Ganapamo
down in the corner. Rolly Fuller once again. He's teasing the player from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Goes up for 2. Nice score indeed. And that's a 7-point lead. It's exactly where they want to be. Francois Nyenge working his magic and pulling the cords and the strings and all the rest of it.
Fantastic play there by Rolly Fuller.
Opong just outside of the arc. That's a great score, that is. And has 3 points there. Just left his fingertips as he just crept inside of the arc.
He is a long-range sniper, Robinson Opong. If he gets it hot, he's going to be very difficult to stop.
4-point lead once again. This is Darlan under a little bit of pressure, trying to find his range, and he just climbs up and draws a little bit of attention. The attention coming from Tony Drileba.
Darlan would have liked the matchup again. At least got more than a couple of inches on Drileba inside the paint, and he was able to come away with the foul. It's Ganapamo, Noab Rizor, Nganga, Jim Rabai, and Darlan starting out in this fourth quarter.
And I think it's Malawash who's not on the floor for the moment. He's going to be brought on at one point. And I don't know why, there shouldn't be any reason behind it, because he's only on 2 fouls. It's not as if he's being, I mean, you know, maybe they want him to stormtroop his way into this final quarter, you know, pretty soon and make a massive impact, because they need him defensively, you know, they really do.
They do need him on the floor. Just a little bit of rest, and strategically perhaps looking to bring Rwanda and Malawash on the floor at the same time.
Well, they've obviously got plays that they've been working together with Karen Nesbar, you know, and how they link up. But also Culpepper is one of the players who's been making sure that he's been picking out the big man as they try and go in search of points. It's a 6-point lead, and Okello gets the ball, and it's a nice drive through, just couldn't lift it up and drop it in. Opong misses out on vital points here, and it's taken up court by Nwabuzo.
6th rebound for Darlan inside.
Danapamo pivots beautifully, tries to deal with Culpepper, bit of a difference in size, gets the ball back in his hands, Culpepper, as Ganapamo misses out, ghosts his way through. Well, that's a really strong defensive play there, just to make sure that's not going anywhere. And stolen and pinched, Okello, great opportunity for Darlan, and he goes up and gets the points and draws the foul from that man, Opong.
Powers straight through the defense of Opong, and a chance to see Bangui in transition. The ball goes to ground. There's a scramble for it, and they've got a 3-on-1 break. Hands it, gets it back, and right up and finesses the finger roll for 2.
Nice pass as well. Nwabuzo saw the big man coming through, and he knows that this is all gonna just move in their direction. The beautiful roll of the ball, obviously you mentioned the finger roll, but just great understanding of how to attack a 3-on-1 situation. Malawash back on court.
City Oilers have fallen behind a little bit. Bangui continuing to extend past that 7-point lead. Jim Rabai battling inside the paint.
Is that a 3rd foul for Malawash? No, don't think so.
Foul was not called on Malawash.
Jim Rabai goes up, drops it in from the free throw line. Culpepper on that left-hand side with the support moving up into position. Need to get points here, otherwise they will fall behind. Great opportunity. Bashir's come back on. Oh, that's a lovely little touch there. Wonderfully done. And how about that? Nwabuzo storms up, draws a bit of attention, hits the deck, and of course draws the foul.
Such great defense and anticipation there by Raleigh Fuller. He secures the possession, tries to get it out to Nwabuzo, who will then pick up the well, he gets the chance to go to the free throw line and pick up 2 more points, and it is called unsportsmanlike because he's got a clear path to the basket.
Yeah, it was Opong who just, you know, got tangled up with the legs, and Nwabuzo, obviously, as you saw from the images, hitting the deck there. He goes straight up to the free throw line. 11 points for him. Up to 12 now.
They have struggled a little bit. Now make that 50% from the free throw line. 6 of 12 they are. They get 2 plus the possession.
Bangui Sporting Club, only founded in 2017. Won national titles in 2022. In 2023 they managed to beat New Tech Bantu in the final there. .750 left on the clock. It's an 8-point advantage. They get possession back. And Nwabuzo pulling the strings, you know, from the back of the court, doing really well, making sure the distribution has been good. Jim Rabai goes up, rattles the metal, comes back out, made safe, and taken there by Opong.
Nice release on the shot from Jim Rabai. Just rattles out. He had nice separation away from Malawash.
Miller Jr. trying to find his way through. Oh, that's beautifully rolled in. And Dane Miller Jr. get himself up to 13 fourth player in double figures.
He's attacking the rim. He's difficult to stop, especially when he's coming downhill.
He's got a bit of a smile on his face as well. Smiling assassin, big long-range shot. Dame Miller Jr. picks the ball up once again, looking for a little bit of support. He's got Culpepper into the hands of Rembert. Rembert to Malawash. Gets their first Ganapamo, brilliantly done. And look who's up there. Rolly Fuller trying to get his hands on the ball. It just goes out of play. It's going to be the Oilers who get possession. They got a 10-point lead.
So we've seen some good defense from both teams. Ganapamo's anticipation to tap the ball away, Darlan trying to throw it ahead, but Culpepper touch forces the ball, and a little bit of pressure forces the ball out of bounds.
Contact, constant contact taking place. You can see that 4 team fouls for the City Oilers compared to 0 for Bangui. Very well disciplined at the moment, but that's their first.
And that could be a real factor going into the final 5 minutes. Touch fouls will allow them to stop the clock, get to the free throw line, continue to just build.
Malawash in the corner. Jim Rabbi putting pressure on the big man. Tries to roll, goes high over the top. That's not a little bit short. Picked up by Darlan, leaves it for Noah Buzor, the Nigerian, into enemy territory. Looks for that man, Ganapamo. Ganapamo tries to roll it over the top. Doesn't happen this time. Miller Jr. gets it out. They got to go for points. Points don't come from the out wide from Opong for the three-pointer.
What a difference between the third and fourth. The shot's not falling now. They've got to figure out ways to maybe get a little bit closer to the rim and find different executions on the offensive end.
Noah Buzor, shot clock down to 4. Got to find that man, Jim Rabbi. Well, there's, I think that's Dame Miller Jr., I think, who made the first bit of contact before Malawash came in.
Yeah, there was definitely contact called on the bottom there. Miller Jr., that pass to Jim Rabbi from behind. Miller Jr. is going to get called for it. Malawash might have got the clean block, but it was Miller Jr. gets called for the block from behind, and that's going to bring a break in play. Timeout called. 10-point gap it is, Robbie.
5:47, we'll take a break. It's all in the head. Karim Nesbat talking with his players. We'll be back in a moment. 85-75 it is. Of course, Bangui, who have a comfortable lead. The game stats here, Q, when we take a look at them. Thierry Darlan, well, he's with 22 points, Ganapamo 19, and then you look at Malawash with 22, and then Miller Jr. up to 13 there. But it's the City, it's Bangui, who are actually pushing themselves ahead even further.
They've been so good in the way that they've gone about executing. The shot selection has been great. They've broken down this Oilers defense quite effectively throughout the game.
Culpepper haven't managed to score in the last few minutes. Will be a concern for Karim Nesbar and the City Oilers. Opon gets the ball out. Culpepper, 5:30 left on the clock. It's now that they've got to react. Dame Miller Jr. goes up. He gets blocked in a big way there by Jim Rabbi, who says no.
He is
no.
doing a fantastic job. Yes, inside the paint on both ends of the floor.
Malawash unable to get themselves the shot. And this is brings applause there from Francois Nyenga. He knows that lockdown, that clampdown will work in his favor in the greater scheme of things. Ganapamo takes the pass.
No rush now. Going to try and take as much time off the clock as possible.
And try and score long-range shots at the same time. Ganapamo missing that. Miller Jr. Rembert back on it. Rembert trying to cut through, nicely done. Holds it, protects it, and then lifts it up. Beautiful layup there for Rembert, up to 8.
Stocky figure, burly figure, able to finish through the contact every time he gets it. And we may see him just try and effect the takeover here in the fourth quarter.
Ronnie Fuller trying to go up. There's contact from Dame Miller Jr. He's foul trouble there. Number 4 for him as he just gets in the way of the ever-dangerous Rolly Fuller down in that corner.
He gets right into the cylinder of Fuller on that shot, and it should be shooting 3 here for Fuller. And he's got a chance to give Bangui a very significant lead if he's able to make all three.
Of course, our second game here in the Nile Conference, as we see that foul, he's just coming forward. There's the contact with the fingers, and then he just goes into him as well. Mistake has been made, he knows that. We have a big battle between Ahly of Cairo, who will be taking on Ahly of Libya. Both victorious on day one here in the Nile Conference, and a majestic showdown to cap off day two here in Cairo.
Well, that should be a battle royal. We have our own battle happening on the floor, and Fuller misses the first. Important that he comes away with just 2 of the 3 here. Played for Mazembe, Espoir Fukash. APR in the Rwandan Basketball League led them to the championship and to qualification, and now he is allowed here at Bangui Sporting Club, adding his value.
Played first season of the BAL with Fukash, Espoir, Fukash, the DRC. Here we go, round the back, and an attempt to try and sneak and find a way through. Opong goes up for a big long-range shot from downtown, doesn't get the points, picked up calmly by Dalan. 4 minutes and 18 left on the clock. That's great scoring there from Jim Rabbi.
And he really likes the matchup against Maluash. He's looked comfortable. Every time he faces up, he gets a positive result.
Culpepper out wide to Rembe. Rembe does really well. Maluash! Big poster dunk there for the big man, who's up to 24 points. At the other end, you can see the Ganapamo trying to get himself points. Quick, fast transition now. Rembe picks it up down the right side. Culpepper, left-hand side, trying to pass the ball around. Dame Miller Jr. Pong again. Just falling on the wrong side. Good opportunity there for Robinson Opong.
Would have willed that in, would have taken the lead just back under the double digits.
So frustrating, isn't it, for the City Oilers of Uganda. Wabizor. Rabbi, oh my word, he is on fuego.
Jim Rabbi has been fantastic. It's not only his work on the offensive end, but he's knocking down open jump shots inside and outside. Captain Fantastic right now, Jim Rabbi for Bangui.
Get that in. Replay of that monster dunk there from Maluash. Maluash mania running high here in Cairo. It's 94 points to 79. And the timeout called by the Moroccan coach at the helm of the City Oilers, Karim Nesba, as they try and find a way to get back into this. But at the moment, a 15-point lead with 3:12 left on the clock. Q doesn't fare well for Nesba and the coach Nesba and the Oilers.
5 minutes and 6 seconds is all that they've had in terms of the lead in this one. We've had 7 lead changes, 4 times we've been tied, but none of that has happened in the second half. Bangui have been able to keep control. They've had varied scorers step up at different moments. Nwabuzor's been great.
Double-double.
24-10 from Kaman Maluash to try and lead the way for the City Oilers. I think this man right here has had a quiet afternoon in terms of what we've seen from his opening game, but the drop-off to Kaman Maluash, and you said Maluash mania, that's how it happens, close to the rim. And his ability to finish soft touch or with the thunderous jam has got a lot of scouts excited.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, I think. Remember, he picking up that 4th foul quite early on in the game, before the start of the 4th quarter, is basically, just stalled his ability to get himself out onto the floor, because coaches always try and protect. But his passing and the way that he links up with Maluash has been very important and instrumental in how the Oilers function properly. And, without that connection, it's been quite complicated. But now, after we see that, we think that, the last 3:12, you got to go for it, right?
Well, he might have to unlock his individual offense. He's a noted scorer, is Remberry. And this might also open up a little bit more for Maluash out there or down there in the paint.
It is Rolly Fuller who rolls up to the charity line and tries to knock in one or two shots from the line. And again, up to 95, 5 personal fouls there for Opong, of course, which has taken him off the floor.
Single make, that only three-pointer, his contribution in terms of the offense, but 2 big free throws go the way of Fuller.
3 minutes remaining, and Dane Miller Jr. Jureleba into the hands of Malawash. Let's see what Malawash can do. Nearly manages to get the 3 points, and if that would have gone in, he drew the foul as well. It was contact with his arm, and he would have been up and potentially with a 4-point score.
You look at the development of his offensive game. He reads the left hand of Jim Rabai, goes right up through the contact and is able to draw the foul. 2 years ago, you would not be seeing him make that move.
That's so true, that's true. Come on strong, big time.
Come on, Malouche.
6 of 7 from the free throw line, and this is why it's difficult to play against him. You can't just foul him and send him to the free throw line because he's got soft touch, and that's the commentator's curse we were talking about. But maybe you find a way to get it the opposite way, but he really is efficient from the free throw line, highly effective.
Thierry Dalan, 22 points, leads the way for Bangui. This shot goes down, and Malawash up to 25.
5 Bangui players in double digits.
Long-range shot picked up by Culpeper Seniors. He goes and gets rid of Ganapamo. Tries to lay into the path of Malawash, but look who gets in the way. That's fantastic from Dalan, who's been standout today.
Yeah, he has compiled a superb performance. It's almost been quiet because, you know, he's picked his moments, but when you look at the numbers, 7 of 8 from the field, just entirely efficient. Thierry Dalan.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, basketball, you take a look at the stats, you take a look at the numbers. The numbers are what matters, you know, in basketball at the end of when the final buzz has been heard in the arena. And Dalan has just been lighting it up today.
Yeah, he has been standout in terms of what he's done for Bangui. The most important number, the scoreboard, is 97-80 in favor of Bangui Sporting Club.
We're going to have a jump ball here because you can see Dane Miller Jr. just skidded and fell down just inside of the paint. That's the moment, and you want to stop the game at that point because you just don't know what's going to happen, you know. And finally, it's a travel call.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but once the footing goes out, the travel gets called, and the offense gets credited with that turnover.
Things not working the way that they wanted for City Oilers. And Bangui, there's Dalan, 22 points, the double-double, of course, just like Malawash. This is incredible, right?
And just think about how the game started, the matchup between the two young stars.
Rolly Fuller's put in a really strong performance here today. Malawash picks it up into the hands of Rembert. Rembert going around the outside, trying to find his way past Yasser Kamayenge. We haven't seen too much of today.
Limited usage, Yasser Kamayenge off the bench, but he comes in to try and provide a spark and additional scoring. The ball distribution has been really great from Bangui. Nwabuzor has been standout indeed, just in the way that he's been distributing.
Oh, Malawash, get it in there! The pass is perfect. Malawash mania continues to reign here in Cairo.
He's broken his career high in terms of scoring in the BAL, 27 points in a losing effort. It's going to be a losing effort for the City Oilers, but has certainly showcased what he's capable of doing on the offensive end.
It's absolutely outstanding, isn't it? 1 minute and 7 left on the clock. That is just remarkable. Got to see the slow-mo of that, because that was just bombastic. I mean, but again, who made the pass? Remember, it's the same man.
They're great in that pick and roll action, and they certainly do have some chemistry.
Rolly Fuller gets a good rebound. That's fantastic to muscle with the ball away from Malawash underneath the ring there. Absolutely top-notch. 53 seconds remaining. Rembert goes on a run and he gets the points. That's a great score there for Rembert.
Again, another look at the way that Rembert goes about picking up points when he attacks because of his frame and strength, natural strength, that, or maybe even learned strength. He's just so tough to stop. And when you have Maluwash and Rembe working in that pick and roll action, I think that's going to be something that can be unlocked from this team. Jim Rabai, 5 fouls, so his afternoon will end, but he certainly deserves a shout out, has led the way in terms of what a captain should do on the floor. And 13 points, a good output for Jim Rabai.
Picked up at the back and tidied up very comfortably there by Lowell Weck. Back on court. And Oeg Schreider, Darlan. Darlan's going to play out the last 35 seconds. They're trying to get to 100 points. Can they get to 100? Yes, they can. Oh, that's beautifully dropped in from that man, Metson Nambai. 3 points up to 101. First team to break 100 points here in the Nile Conference. Good score there from Rwanda, up to 12.
They have so much offensive talent, this Bangui team. And the fact that they have 5 guys in double digits really does showcase their versatility.
Weck down to Nambai. Goes again. It's Maluwash who picks it up. 101 to 86, and the last play, who's going to go for it? Maluwash, finish it off, get it in, 2 points, and that's it. 101 to 88.
And that bucket will count. Maluwash will pick up his 29th point, but it is a victory nonetheless for Bangui Sporting Club, who pick up their first win in the Basketball Africa League, a win for the debutants in the Nile Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. Bangui getting the first win, 101-88, and Maluwash just with the wonderful finger finish there, just to complete the day. 29 points, double-double for him, double-double for Thierry Darlan, and very impressive indeed, but a little bit frustrating. We're just going to wait for the for the official review on the time, on the clock.
Yeah, they're going to have a look for the red light that we saw, and they'll see that the bucket was good, and Maluwash will pick up the 2 points. The City Oilers will pick up the 2 points, and the bucket is good, and that will signal the end of the game.
And we'll get that final buzzer, potentially.
The final buzzer has sounded, and it is a first win for Bangui Sporting Club.
Yeah, 88 points for City Oilers. They go back and they'll try and look for their first win, of course, in day 3. But losing in their opening clash, Bangui against Al Ahly Libya, they have hit back and they get themselves their first win, and which is positive for them.
19 points, 7 Kanapamo, 19 points for Raleigh Fuller, 13 for Jim Rabai, and 13 for Nwabuzor, and they chip in around the 22 points of Serge Darlan. That's how they constructed the win. On the other side, it's Rembe's 12, 10 for Culpeper Senior. Miller Jr. had 13 of his own, and 5 players in double digits as well for the City Oilers. It's just that there were too many open opportunities for a much more efficient offense, which allowed Bangui to extend and continue to build on a lead, eventually resulting in a win.
There's a nice moment here in the center of the court, of course, with the 2 NBA Academy players, Thierry Darlan and Kaman Maluwash, exchanging jerseys. But look at this. I mean, the double-doubles there just stand out from the crowd, don't they?
22 points on 8 of 9 shooting, 10 rebounds and 2 assists for Thierry Darlan. Raleigh Fuller's 19, spoke about Evans Ganapamo, especially his work in the first half. Jim Rabai, 4 of 6 shooting and 7 assists. On the other side, Kaman Maluwash, 29 points, 12 boards. Miller Jr.'s 13 and 9. And for Culpeper Senior, his 10 and 2 rebounds will not be enough for this one.
And we'll get to hear from Thierry Darlan, the top player for Bangui Sporting Club.
Bonsoir Thierry, félicitations pour votre victoire.
Congratulations.
Alors vous avez commencé avec une première défaite hier, mais aujourd'hui vous allez chercher la victoire la plus importante.
Today you've been looking for your most important win today. Yeah, the team have been the same. We wanted to finish in a better way today, and we played for the team, so it's a team performance. Playing for the country
vous
as well.
terminez avec un double-double, 22
You've done a
points,
double-double,
10
22
rebonds.
points, 10
Quelle a été
rebounds.
la différence entre
What's
votre
the
premier match
difference
et le match que
between your
vous avez
first
joué ce
match
soir?
and the game that you played
La
today?
différence entre hier,
Difference.
j'étais pas vraiment dans le match.
I wasn't really in the game yesterday.
Je cherchais encore mon shoot
I
et tout.
still
Mais bon,
looking to
aujourd'hui,
find
je
my
me concentrais,
shooting range,
sur la
more
finition
concentration
et
today.
casser mon poignet,
And,
et ces petits trucs-là, les petits
And
détails.
just the
ouais,
little
c'est ce que j'ai fait
details, you know, when I
Une
managed
dernière
to work
question,
it
vous avez
out
joué
today.
votre première saison avec les
Last
Ignite.
question.
Qu'est-ce
Played
qui a
a season with
qui vous a
Ignite.
motivé à venir
How
jouer
did that
à la BL sur le continent?
motivate you to come and play here
Pour
back
moi,
in
c'est
Africa?
D'abord, à cause de mon pays, je voulais d'abord
First of
représenter
all,
mon pays.
I wanted to
C'est-
be back representing
ça
my
fait plus
country.
longtemps qu'on n'est pas- voilà, quoi.
It's been a while that I haven't been back.
On n'a pas été bien représenté sur le plan international.
And we
Et pour
weren't
moi, je me suis dit que c'était
represented
la
well
meilleure
in
occasion de
you know,
représenter mon pays
internationally,
et montrer au
the
monde
Central
entier
African
que
Republic.
on a le
So,
basket dans le sang.
I've got
Merci
basketball
beaucoup
in my
et bonne chance pour le
in my
reste.
veins, and I wanted to get back home to Africa. Final game stats: 101-88. The field goal percentage. 3 points, 10-27, 9-24. The assists, 7 more assists for Bangui Club over the Oilers. Very well balanced encounter, just managing to get away at the end, Q.
I like the focus on details. Darlan spoke about details. There's small differences in how you take care of the ball and the possessions. When you think about the 57 and 47, is Bangui more efficient? They made more open shots, and there should be a couple more defensive adjustments to think these two will take to the court again. And that's the great thing about the format that we have, is that they are return games, and there's home and away and the opportunity to come back.
101-88, the final score here between Bangui Sporting Club. Congratulations to the team from Central African Republic beating City Oilers Uganda. They'll go again, of course, in a game in day 3.